Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vestre's broadcast from the Norwegian Design and Architecture Center in Oslo. During the next hour, you will meet inspiring people who are passionate about changing the world. We will take a short visit to Copenhagen and Stockholm, and then on to the new Edvard Munch Art Museum here in Oslo. We will also have a closer look at the development of the Plus, Vestre's newest development, which is the world's most environmentally friendly furniture factory. And you will meet the lady behind Vestre's brand new inspiration book. If you are watching this broadcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, please join in with your questions and comments. But first, exactly 1 year ago, our lives changed dramatically. To date, COVID-19 has claimed more than 2.7 million lives globally. The strict measures and limitations have altered the way we live and has sadly forced us physically apart. Still, there are bright spots. More than 250 million people have so far received their first safe vaccine dose, and the effect is even better than expected. The virus is on its way down in many countries, and in a few months, there is hope that we can live normally again. But do we really want to return to just the way it was before? To a world where greenhouse gas emissions continues to increase, even though we have less than 10 years left to reduce the emissions by 50% and combat global warming. To a world that allows the production of throwaway products despite its use of resources far beyond the endurance of our planet. To a world where the richest grow richer and the gap between people continues to increase, and rampant injustice erodes the trust between us. To a world where state leaders champion the rights of the privileged and build dividing walls instead of bridges, even through a time when we are more dependent on each other than perhaps ever before. And to a world where us and them thinking is increasing, despite the fact that all people are born with equal value and should have equal rights to a safe and happy life. I don't think we should return to the old world, the old ways, to the old ideas. I remain optimistic because I feel confident that a better world is not only possible, it is actually within reach. So today, I have two messages. First, now is the time for unity and international cooperation. Isolationism and nationalism do not bring progress. The pandemic has actually shown us that we are all equally vulnerable, no matter our wealth or population. It doesn't help to be the richest country in the world in the face of threats not overcome simply with money. And even the world's strongest and most advanced military power can be weakened when the hidden enemy attacks. Friends, if we are to win this, we must unite. It is not a single country, pharma company, nor a single research team that developed the vaccines that will end this pandemic. Thousands of people from many countries and continents have worked together. Women and men with different languages, different skin tones, religions, sexual orientations, and political views, all sharing the common belief that we can achieve great things together. One of the successful vaccines is, for example, a collaboration between the American pharma company Pfizer and a German biotech company called BioNTech. And BioNTech was founded by Turkish immigrants and currently employs researchers from more than 60 countries. The last time the world was at war, the United States and Germany were bitter enemies on opposite sides. Now, Germany, the United States, and other countries are working together to defeat the invisible enemy afflicting us all. Imagine if we could transfer this willingness to cooperate, the power of implementation, and our incredible urgency and pace to solve the other major challenges our world is facing. Imagine, if you will, all the miracles we can achieve together over the next decade. In large communities, such as the United Nations and other international organizations, which are certainly not perfect today, but which can and will continue to improve. And in the small communities, such as the workplace, school, library, park, and public square. This is why Vestre exists. Our goal has never been to sell as much furniture as possible. Our goal is to change the world, one neighborhood at a time. We do this by creating caring meeting places where people get together, share life experiences, ideas, get to know each other, and become confident in each other. Places where our cultures and social backgrounds meet, and where we can communally discuss the issues that affect our world today. We create meeting places where trust, unity, and new groundbreaking ideas arise. One example is the Piazza Aparte, which means open square in Milan, Italy. This program was established by the municipality 3 years ago, and Vestre Venue is one of the intersections that was transformed in a collaboration with Bloomberg Associates and Vestre. What used to be a heavily trafficked square with narrow sidewalks has now become a small oasis where the neighborhood can come together. And the result is amazing. From a handful of people and up to 105 people enjoyed this space safely just during a cold October day in Milan. 86% of locals prefer this new place. And this is a great example of what Vestre is all about, changing a neighborhood at a time. Friends, let us decide to build stronger communities than those before this global pandemic hit us. My second message today is this. Now is the time to stop merely talking about the green shift. Now we have to start taking action. It's almost 35 years since the former Norwegian Prime Minister Gro Harlem Brundtland led the commission that launched the concept of sustainable development. It is more than 5 years since 195 countries joined the Paris Agreement to combat global warming. And we are very happy that the US has rejoined in this movement. Thank you. Still, even with all our efforts, progress is too slow. At Vestre, we have been taking action for a long time. If you travel around Norway, you can experience Vestre furniture from the 50s and the 60s that is still in use. Producing furniture that lasts a lifetime has never been a challenge for us. 12 years ago, we became the world's first carbon-neutral furniture manufacturer. 5 years ago, we integrated the United Nations sustainability goals, the global goals, into our business model. 4 years ago, we launched the world's first Swan eco-labeled outdoor furniture, and now we have over 250 eco-labeled products in our collection. 3 years ago, we launched Vestre Vision Zero, which is our plan for how all our products can last forever through circularity, refurbishment, reuse, and products as a service. 2 years ago, we launched the world's first outdoor furniture produced from at least 75% recycled aluminum and 8 times lower greenhouse gas emissions than the world average. Last year and this winter, we developed a new material that consists of 100% recycled, ownerless ocean plastic. We are now the world's first furniture manufacturer to publish climate and energy footprint of all our products. And in less than 1 year from now, the factory doors to the Plus will open. A game-changing innovation that will be the world's most environmentally friendly furniture factory. A factory which reduces greenhouse gas emissions by at least 55%, which makes it Paris-proof, and the supplied energy needs by more than 90%. The factory, designed by Big Bjarke Ingels Group in Copenhagen, is not only the first industrial project in the Nordic region to achieve the highest environmental certification BREEAM Outstanding, it is probably also the world's most open and transparent experience factory, where everyone is invited right up to the factory walls to watch the manufacturing whenever they want. And in this way, we really want to inspire more people to take part in accelerating the green shift. And our journey to be recognized as the world's most sustainable furniture manufacturer has only just begun. Friends, there is no reason for pessimism. Problems created by us humans can also be fixed by us humans. We must be led into the future by the optimism of our greatest ambitions. Renewable energy, for instance, is now in many cases cheaper than ever before, and it's outcompeting fossil energy in many countries. Tesla itself has revolutionized the car fleet. Here in Norway, more than 50% of all new cars sold are electric. And with carbon capture and storage and hydrogen, we can significantly reduce the sources of major pollution in the world. And this is not science fiction far ahead. This is something we can do right now, if we harness the will and the power to execute. Some try to create the impression that a climate-friendly future is a gray and dull future. I could not disagree more. I think we are facing a green and bright future, a future where we get access to new technology that makes our lives easier and happier, a future where we can enjoy cleaner air and more nature, a future where we can travel and experience new places with environmentally friendly transport methods, such as self-driving electric cars and emission-free airplanes. A future where we can create millions of new, exciting and climate-friendly jobs. And a future where we can distribute the resources in the world more fairly than today, so that no one is left behind. Some might find it naive to believe that people and companies can change the world, but I don't. We can all change the world, no matter who we are, where we live, or what we do for a living. When my grandfather established Vestre almost 74 years ago, it was with the motto, everything is possible for the Lord Almighty and a mechanic. At Vestre, we still believe that everything is possible. And what we are showing you today are ideas infused with this very philosophy, and we believe it will push the world forward in the right direction. Because for us, design is never important in and of itself. Design is important when it contributes to change. Design is important when it brings people together. And design is important when it creates a better environment. Friends, let's decide on one simple thing: that we will not return to where we were before this pandemic. Let this difficult time be the starting point for change, for more cooperation and less friction. Let us focus on opportunities, not constraints, and on what unites us, not on what divides us. Let's accelerate the green shift. It's urgent, but it's not too late. And we will succeed if we decide to do so, and if we use all the creativity and knowledge that we are equipped with. Thank you so much for watching this broadcast, and please stay tuned as we are heading to Copenhagen.
The best way to explain what design and architecture is to listen to the Danish word for design, which is formgivning, form-giving. Because design is literally to give form to that which has not yet been given form. In other words, to give form to the future. And more specifically, it means that we as human beings and as designers, form givers, have the power to give form to the world as we would like it to be in our future. Maybe there is an example where sustainable cities and sustainable buildings are not just better for the environment, they're also better for the lives of the people that inhabit them. And we call this hedonistic sustainability. Rather than sustainability being about how much you're willing to compromise, it becomes actually about how great a life do you want to have. And I think that's where maybe our thinking and Vestre's thinking, and especially Jan Christian's thinking, become one and the same. That this idea of sustainable manufacturing, as he calls it, that you can actually make something that is socially, environmentally, and economically profitable all at the same time. To reimagine the future of sustainable manufacturing that is completely transparent, instead of being all about fences and business secrets, it's inviting, and it's in the middle of the forest. And then it's also exceptionally sustainable. We're not cutting away more forest than we absolutely have to. So we're allowing the trees to go as close to the factory as they possibly can. The factory is also made out of the same wood that we have cleared to make space for it. The maybe most inspiring idea is that we mapped the solar radiation on the roof, and you get these kind of sunspots where you get the most solar exposure because of the shadow of the trees, because of the inclination of the roof. So they become these weird shapes that are not designed by us. They're calculated by the sun. So of course you'll have those configurations on the roof, but we've actually made the roof accessible. So from all four sides, you are invited to walk up either on the stepping facade, looking into the factory, so you can look into the factory, down on the factory floor, and you find yourself on the roof. There's kind of this wide invitation to enjoy the factory in a lot of different ways, and actually enjoy the views of the factory from a lot of different perspectives. We tend to divide our world into two, the front of house and the back of house. And the front of house is all the nice places. It's the things that deserve architecture. And you know, it's the lobby. Maybe it's the headquarters where the management sits. And then there's the back of house. That's where all the real work happens. That's where all the furniture is made. We actually believe that the most exciting things happen when you combine those two things. And that's exactly what we've tried to do with Vestre, to imagine a factory that is both front of house and back of house at the same time. The beauty of the factory is the way it's organized. It's the intersection of a road and a manufacturing plant, which creates this kind of plus, this kind of propeller or pinwheel. In the ends, goods can come in and products can come out. So you can in a way say the logistical diagram becomes the sort of architectural composition. Each area where a certain function is happening is going to have its own color that is on all of the machinery, and then it bleeds out on the floor and creates a little a stain of paint around it. So so when you go in, you see this kind of archipelago of colorful islands where the machines grow out of the color. In the future, it could be one of the most exciting places to go see. Not just for someone who's excited about furniture or factories, but for someone who's excited about architecture and nature.
Many thanks to Bjarke Ingels and your team in BIG. We are incredibly proud of our collaboration. Together, BIG and Vestre have created an entirely new typology where people, architecture, technology, and nature are completely integrated into each other. And I really can't wait until we open the doors to our new factory. And I really hope that all of you who watch this broadcast will come to visit us next year. Now it's a great pleasure to introduce our next guest, Mr. Alan Hagerup. Alan, you are the design manager in Vestre, furniture designer, and you have created the world's first bench made of ownerless recycled ocean plastic. Can you please tell us about your project?
Yeah, sure. So the plastic in this bench we call ownerless ocean plastic. And this means plastic that's been thrown away and is drifting in the ocean for a long time before ending up on the coastline. So the plastic in this project differs from other similar projects where you use the surplus from industry or from controlled waste management systems. The reason we have this plastic available is because people have been working for free to collect it from the shoreline, and they are working to clean the coast and improve the biological environment in the coastline. So this is a material that you use with some reverence because it has a history, and a lot of people have worked to make it available to us. And
I see. I have to say, I really love the colors. And is this how it's going to look like?
this is how it's going to look like, yes. But I would just like to say that this is a part of Vestre's ambition to become the world's most sustainable furniture manufacturer. So we wanted to be the first to create a bench in this ownerless plastic. And this we did because we wanted to as you say, showcase this beautiful material, test it and see what can be done with it. And we wanted to rescue it into a system of reuse. Yeah.
It sounds like a challenging project since it's actually never been done before. Can you please tell us a bit more about the product development and the process leading us to this bench?
Yeah, so this plastic is collected and sorted and ground into pellets. So this is 3 different type of plastic. But I think what's interesting, or when I was asked to do the design for this bench, what was interesting was the material and the story behind it. So I wanted to do a bench that was made to be placed on the coastline, so that you can sit on the bench, look back at the sea, and sort of reflect on the journey this plastic has been through. Yeah.
I see. I know that this bench is not for sale. You have to rent it or lease it. Is that true?
Well, this plastic you can only rent. Vestre is part owner in a company called Oguri that owns the plastic and rents it out to Vestre for use in industrial production. So you can make a product like Coast. So when this material is used up, or the rent period is over, you have to take it back and deliver it back to Oguri so they can reuse it in another product later on. So for Vestre, it's we need to have a service agreement with the customer so that we can get the plastic back and send it back to Oguri to be made into new products.
I see. Can you show us one of the slats? I mean, as I said, I love the colors. They're so unique, and I mean, so many stories behind them.
Yeah, so this is a prototype, so it's not completely as beautiful as it will be when we have.
I find it really beautiful.
Yeah, but the materials are from a different type of materials from the assortment process, and we think it's become quite an interesting material, and we have the different assortment, and we made the first bench out of what was available at the time. So this pattern, or these different colors were mixed together from what we have, and we think that's probably in the future how it will be made also, so that you get what's available. And I think this is a very beautiful material with like a depth, like almost like looking into the ocean. So we're really happy with it, and it's also this bench is designed so that you can easily remove the plastic from the bench after use and have it brought back to Oguri for reuse.
Alan, you mentioned the future, but do you think this is the future? I mean, recycled resources, but also the fact that this is a product as a service. It's not something you can buy. You have to rent it, so that will make sure that it will never turn into waste again. Is this the future for the manufacturing industry?
Well, I think plastic waste is one of our biggest climate challenges. So I think every year it's more than 6 million tons of trash ending up in the ocean, and 70 to 80% of that is plastic. So I think if we can collect the plastic and make sustainable products, it's a good thing, but we need to produce less plastic, and we need to to get away from the throwaway culture for plastic. So the main message is we need to reuse the raw materials as long as possible. And that's also a trend in the design and architecture that's growing now at the moment.
Alan, congratulations on your new bench. I really can't wait to see this all around the US and in Europe in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, you are watching Vestre's broadcast from the Norwegian Design and Architecture Center. Edvard Munch is Norway's most famous artist and probably one of the world's most famous Norwegians. Among other things, he painted the pictures Scream, Madonna, and The Girls on the Bridge. Later this year, the brand new Munch Museum will open in Oslo, and the museum was designed by Estudio Herreros in Spain. The public can enjoy Munch's art in the building's 13 floors. 2 years ago, the Norwegian designers Andreas Engesvik and Jonas Stokke won the competition to design the furniture for this wonderful museum. It has now become the Munch collection, which is part of Vestre's lineup this year. Take a look at this. Andreas Engesvik and Jonas Stokke, welcome to Vestre Venue. First of all, of course, since it's your bench, I have to start asking you, are you sitting comfortably? Jonas?
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you
Thank
sure?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's great. So I'm wondering, where do you start when you are appointed to design furniture for one of the world's largest monographic and probably most famous museums? Jonas?
It can be a daunting task for sure, and I think it's very important, at least it was for us, to fully understand, what it is that we're trying to achieve, both from a sort of practical standpoint, the bench and how it's produced and the people using it, what kind of state of mind are they in when they enter this museum, and then also aesthetically, how do we relate to Munch and his work and the museum as such, and then finally, how do we produce it? So for us, the first step is to really fully immerse ourselves into the design task.
I see. Talking about Edvard Munch himself, how did his expression and color palette affected this piece of furniture? Andreas?
Well, we have tried to look into Edvard Munch's artistry and the way he used colors. He was very cautious in his paintings, and very often he was using very thin layers with paint. So this particular transparency is something that we wanted to create or bring in when we decided to use this metal mesh, which has a very nice effect on how it handles light and sunlight, and it creates shadows and so on. These are all very nice effects. And about the colors, we developed special colors along with Jotun. So we did our own palette for the museum itself, and based on some of the main colors from Munch's.
And people watching this show now, if they fell in love with the colors, are the colors available to them, or did you design those colors specifically for the museum?
Well, we designed some of the colors for the museum, but of course you have the big range, Vestre range, to choose from if you want to look into other colors.
Do you think 200 standard colors will be enough?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. Jonas, I'm wondering, this new museum will have millions of visitors every year. How did you think of the furniture as social objects for human interaction, which we know is really important to Vestre?
Yeah, I think it's important to Vestre, but also for the museum. The way the museum is designed is sort of a horizontal museum, and you could move up and then go in and tap into the art and then come out and have a break. And our furniture is largely centered around this part of the museum where you move up and down, and we intentionally clustered the pieces. And we also developed the series with not just the bench, but also as a single seat with and without the backrest, so that you have the possibility for different configurations and so on. But it was also fundamentally for us very important that it's comfortable. So with the backrest, the way we shape the metal, and then with that final padding with the textile. So it's an inviting piece of furniture.
Yes,
It is.
I agree. One thing I love about this new range is the fact that it looks very sophisticated, yet light and simple. And I'm wondering, what were the biggest technical challenges during the product development of the Munch range, Andreas?
Well, I think the development went very well, surprisingly well. I think the biggest challenges were how we were going to apply the mesh and to shape the mesh so that it looked more organical, or it looked softer compared to the subframe. So the subframe is very rigid, and the mesh is more has another tactility and appearance since it belongs and relates to the body. So, and again, we wanted to use only steel as a material to create this particular singularity.
I see. Andreas and Jonas, thank you so much for joining us today. The museum will open this summer, and I think people from all over the world really look forward to discover not only Edvard Munch's art pieces, they are beautiful, but also the very nice architecture and your beautiful furniture. So thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are watching Vestre's broadcast from the Norwegian Design and Architecture Center here in Oslo. And now you will meet Ina Brantenberg. She is a very talented graphic designer and a creative director of Tank Design in Oslo. Ina has created Vestre's brand new inspiration book, which presents almost 50 social meeting places all around Europe and in the US. Among them is Piazza Aperte in Milan, Italy. Welcome to the show, Ina.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Can you please tell us a bit about this concept called caring meeting places?
Yes, I can. The concept caring meeting places, as I see it, is actually two dimensions. The first is about this situation we are in now with COVID, and it's about creating safe meeting places during the pandemic. The other dimension is actually even more important, and that's about the society now slowly opening up and how important it is to create these social meeting places where we can meet across age, social and cultural background. So if all planners, urbanists and landscape architects and politicians, they really have to facilitate for making these meeting places I think these random meetings between people are so important to create this good society where everybody feels included.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know. To me, it seems a bit difficult. I mean, during the pandemic, all we hear is that you are not allowed to meet other people. And during this pandemic, you were supposed to design not only 10 pages of social meeting places, but close to 300 pages filled with social meeting places.
Yeah.
And what was your approach? Where did you start it?
It was really a challenge because everything's nearly closed down. We had this photographer, Matteo Gastel from Milan, living in LA. But he actually traveled around, and most of the meeting places were even empty. But we really got around to see over 50 places, as you mentioned, in 27 different cities in Europe and the US. Beautiful meeting places where Vestre products plays a really important role.
I see. Vestre loves to be, front runners, and now we did it again, Ina, because this product catalog or this inspiration book is actually the first in the world where we publish all environmental information, all data about every product, so you can actually read how many kilograms of CO2 and how much resources and energy was required and needed for each and every product. And why is this so important?
It's important. As you know very well, Jan Christian, quality and longevity is so important for Vestre. And we've always known that it's important to reach the sustainable goals as well. But it's been hard to measure, hard to document until now. Now we have this international standard called EPD, Environmental Product Declaration. And that's about measuring the carbon footprint of the products from raw materials to finished product. And in this catalog, it's an EPD on every single product.
So you can actually compare all the products?
You can compare the products not only by price, but also on sustainability.
I see. I mean, it's a beautifully designed book. Still, some people may wonder, perhaps, if it's really necessary to print a book like this when we do have the internet. What's your take on that? What do you think?
I think it's a very interesting question, and we asked ourselves: is it really important? Is it really necessary to print a catalog? As you know, IKEA stopped last year to produce their own catalog. A couple of years ago, we asked the target group for Vestre if they used it, and what they amazed was they used it every day. And not only this year's catalog, they had all the catalogs 6 years ago. So I think if you produce something that has good quality by design, by photos, by print, you see it as a value, and you keep it instead of throwing it away after using it.
And I mean, a lot of Vestre's inspiration books designed by you has actually received numerous design awards as well. Yeah, so I do think it's an object that people actually keep.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
What about the printing process itself?
The printing process, when you first decide to print a catalog, you really need to think of it in the most sustainable way you can. So this catalog is printed on Swedish paper, certified paper. The cover is in 100% recycled fiber, and it's printed in Oslo by a Nordic Swan labeled printer.
I see. So we can read it without any bad feelings.
Good conscience.
Okay, that's great. That sounds wonderful. And for all of you, the inspiration book can be ordered for free on our webpage, and you can also download the PDF version there. Ina, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today, and congrats on your new wonderful inspiration book.
Thanks for having me.
Vestre collaborates with more than 30 designers and has received many design awards. For us, design is a tool for bringing people together. And this was also the brief to Note Design Studio in Stockholm when we challenged them to create a completely new picnic concept adapted to people from different cultures. So let's meet our friends in Stockholm, Sweden.
Hi, Jan Christian. Hi, thank you, Jan Christian. We are here in Stockholm today and looking forward to show you our collection print.
Note Design Studio is a Stockholm-based studio.
It's a multidisciplinary studio where we work with different disciplines. The collaboration with Vestre started about 2.5 years ago with a stand for the Stockholm Furniture Fair.
And we got a brief from Vestre. They wanted us to design the future picnic set.
We started off this project with asking ourselves what the future is like, or what is it going to be like.
And for us, it was really interesting because we work so much in the interior world, and now stepping outside, working with the public spaces, really opened up our minds of what we can do. Because we will interact with more people with our design. It's basically for everyone.
Like, is it going to be something that we see that we all see in the movies, like something super high tech, where the technology took over the world, or is it actually something very low tech or analog?
The way you behave indoor is quite, like restricted. You shouldn't, stand on the table. You shouldn't sit in a specific way. Manners. But outdoors, it's supposed to be more free.
What I like the most about our design is the multifunctionality and how we can combine different pieces in order to create whole new setups. So, like, the whole system is very flexible.
If you want to sit down, you will find a place to sit. You lean on things, you sit on things, you sit on things you're used to standing on, So we really want to inspire people to feel free to use them however they want to, not only create these fixed settings with 2 benches and a table. I think in the way that we have created this collection, we want to encourage city planners to look at these meeting places and social places in a different way.
Thank you so much, Note Design Studio. We really look forward to the borders to our beloved neighbor country soon open so that we can finally meet again. I'm now standing here with the designer I've known since I was 10 years old and had a bowl cut. Mikael Olofsson, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Together with your colleagues Tore Borgersen and Espen Wold, you have created some of Vestre's most successful products ever, like the April range, the room range, bus, forum, and a lot of other products. And now we are standing here with your latest development. It's called Sol, which means sun in Norwegian. And can you please tell us a bit about this project?
Yes, I can. Thanks again. This piece of furniture is furniture that goes into the category of safety, and it's meant to use in borders to public spaces where you want to prevent vehicles to enter, and it has a size and weight that makes it a bit difficult, and we wanted to not creating a piece of a wall, but actually a more friendly kind of furniture.
I see, but I mean, it looks so soft and friendly. I would even say cozy. And can a piece of furniture looking like this really stop vehicle with bad intentions?
That's what we hope for.
Okay.
Well, it's made of concrete and enforced steel, and it comes in two different types. One that's just placed on the ground, and one with a more steel core that goes down to the ground that's more solid. And the whole idea was to make it very friendly to kind of fit into this whole public space community, and to combine it with other kind of furnitures.
So if you have like a big public square, you can actually design and put them together in all different kind of configurations.
Of course, and it's always very nice to have different kind of sitting opportunities. This is a very high one, of course, because of this function, a normal function. But you can kind of stand, sit, kind of, and also maybe if you want to sit low, you have kind of other furnitures that take care of that.
I really love that it looks so social and inviting, but still has the ability to stop vehicles. I mean, because when I think about products and bollards and stuff like that, I mean, they most of the time look really hostile and not very friendly and something you really want to place in your cities. So it's, I mean, it's an achievement if you have been able to integrate that feature into a piece of furniture that looks so nice. Well, that's well done, Mikael.
Thanks.
And what about this plant box? Is that a standard feature?
No, yeah,
or-
well, actually, the standard version comes with a lid, curved lid that closes the form. And if you remove that lid, this planting, internal planting is inside. And then you can use it if you want as a planter. And we also always think of this, bringing this kind of plants and green stuff into this public space because it makes people happy. It's nice to be with.
Like the sun itself, or Sol.
Like the sun.
Yes, that's great. Mikael, since you're here, I also have to ask you, we have known each other, as I said, more than 20 years. You are behind one of most of our most successful products. You have been through quite a journey together with Vestre. I mean, it's been really a journey for many years now. And if you're looking back and looking into the future, what will you say are the biggest changes in the history of Vestre, and what do you think about the future? What does it hold?
Well, first, Vestre is a kind of a family business. And I guess this whole view of sustainability and society in general maybe always has been there somewhere, but you are kind of lifted it up and like make it one of Vestre's brands, and that is a bit new. And this also this transparency that you see in the whole business from the factory and the office makes it actually very easy for us designers to approach the different ideas and problems directly. So that's quite new.
We are extremely proud of our collaboration. One last question, Mikael. I know you and Espen and Tore, you meet, I think, every week to discuss different kind of potential Vestre products. And in 2022, do you think we will see some new successful products from the three of you?
Certainly.
Can you tell us a secret or something?
Well, we have many new ideas we work with, and I think you've seen some of it already. Maybe it's somewhere in there back.
Oh yes.
But it's been a very difficult year, but we actually, like you say, we meet once a week in a cafe, and that's kind of our office where we throw ideas at each other, and we have a lot of stuff. You just have to build it.
Yes, of course, and we really can't wait to see the latest development, and of course for this Sol bench, the sun bench, to be spread out to the world. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mikael. Take care.
You too.
Okay, thanks all of you. We have now come to the end. Thanks a million to all of you who did watch this broadcast. We really hope you will join us at the next Vestre Venue at vestre.com and theplus.no. You can read more about the new furniture, our philosophy, and you can see pictures and videos and even live from the construction site, our new factory, The Plus, at Magnor here in Norway. So please take care and remember, everything is possible. See you soon. Thank you.